Imagine waking up in the United States in the year 2040. Your alarm clock does not just ring. It studies your sleep patterns and wakes you at the perfect moment. Your car is not parked in the driveway because you do not own one anymore. A self-driving vehicle arrives exactly when you need it. Your home manages its own energy. Your job might be partly done by artificial intelligence, and the city around you looks both familiar and completely different at the same time. Now here's the real question. What will America actually look like in 2040? Will technology make life easier, safer, and more efficient for millions of Americans? Or will it create new problems we are not ready for? Because the truth is, the next 15 years may transform the United States more than the last 50. Cities will change. Jobs will change. Transportation, healthcare, housing, education, and even how Americans communicate will evolve rapidly. In this video, we are going to explore what everyday life in the United States could realistically look like by 2040. Not science fiction, not fantasy, but real technological shifts that are already beginning right now. And by the end, you will see why the future of America may look very different from the country we know today. So let us begin. Right now, the United States is entering one of the biggest technological transitions in its history. Artificial intelligence is advancing faster than most experts predicted. Automation is reshaping industries. Electric vehicles are replacing gas cars, and new technologies like robotics, quantum computing, and advanced medical treatments are developing at incredible speed. In the past, technological revolutions took decades to fully unfold. Think about the internet. It started in the early 1990s, but took almost 20 years to reshape everyday life. But today, technology spreads much faster. A new idea can go from a research lab to millions of users in just a few years. And this matters especially for the United States. America is home to some of the world's most influential tech companies, companies that are designing the platforms, algorithms, and hardware shaping the future. That means many of the biggest technological changes will impact American society first. Transportation networks, healthcare systems, the job market, education, energy infrastructure, all of these systems are currently being redesigned using new technologies, and the changes coming by 2040 could affect how nearly every American lives, works, and travels. So before we jump into predictions, we need to understand something important. When people talk about future technology, they often imagine flying cars or futuristic cities, but the real future usually arrives quietly. It shows up in the background, in everyday tools, in small conveniences that slowly become normal. Think about smartphones. 20 years ago, carrying a powerful computer in your pocket sounded futuristic. Today, it is just normal life. The same thing will happen with many technologies that seem experimental today. Artificial intelligence assistants, self-driving transportation, smart energy grids, autonomous delivery robots. By 2040, these things could simply become part of daily American life. And that is where the story gets really interesting. Let us start with transportation. Because by 2040, the way Americans move around cities may look completely different. Today, millions of Americans still drive their own vehicles every day. But autonomous vehicles are advancing quickly. Major technology companies and car manufacturers are already testing self-driving systems across several states. These vehicles use cameras, radar, sensors, and artificial intelligence to understand roads and traffic. And once the technology becomes reliable enough, transportation could shift from ownership to access. Instead of buying a car, many Americans may simply request a ride through an app. A self-driving vehicle arrives, takes them where they need to go, then moves on to the next passenger. This could reduce traffic congestion, lower transportation costs, and dramatically reduce accidents caused by human error. But here is where it gets serious. Millions of Americans currently work in driving-related jobs. Truck drivers, taxi drivers, delivery drivers. If autonomous transportation becomes widespread, those industries could face major disruption. And this is one of the biggest questions facing the future American economy. How will the workforce adapt? Because transportation is only the beginning. Artificial intelligence is already changing the nature of work. By 2040, AI systems could handle many routine tasks currently done by humans: customer service, basic accounting, scheduling, data analysis. But this does not necessarily mean jobs disappear completely. Historically, technology tends to transform jobs rather than eliminate them entirely. New roles emerge. People begin working alongside machines rather than competing with them. For example, imagine a construction worker in 2040. Instead of doing every task manually, they may supervise robotic equipment. Instead of lifting heavy materials themselves, machines could handle the physical labor. The worker becomes a technician, a supervisor, and a problem solver. This shift toward human plus machine collaboration could define many American jobs in the future. But there is another industry where technology could have an even bigger impact: healthcare. By 2040, healthcare in the United States may look radically different. Artificial intelligence could help doctors diagnose diseases earlier and more accurately. Advanced medical imaging systems might detect illnesses years before symptoms appear. Personalized medicine could become common. Instead of giving every patient the same treatment, doctors may use genetic data to design therapies specifically tailored to each person. And robotic surgery could become more advanced. Surgeons might perform procedures remotely, using robotic tools with extreme precision. This could expand access to high-quality medical care across rural parts of the United States. But the transformation does not stop there. Wearable devices may become powerful health monitoring systems. Imagine a smartwatch that constantly tracks your heart, blood pressure, and blood chemistry. If it detects something unusual, it alerts your doctor immediately. Preventative healthcare could become much more effective, and this could potentially reduce healthcare costs while improving quality of life. But now we need to talk about something that will shape nearly every part of the future: energy. Because the way America produces and uses energy is changing rapidly. Electric vehicles are becoming more common. Renewable energy sources like solar and wind are expanding. And by 2040, many American neighborhoods could operate on smart energy grids. These grids use artificial intelligence to balance electricity supply and demand. Homes may generate their own power through rooftop solar panels. Excess energy could be stored in home batteries or shared with the grid. Your house might even sell electricity back to the network during peak demand. Energy systems could become more decentralized and resilient. But this also introduces new challenges, because a highly connected energy network could become a target for cyber attacks. And this is the part nobody talks about enough. As technology becomes more integrated into infrastructure, cybersecurity becomes critical. In 2040, protecting digital systems may be just as important as protecting physical infrastructure. Power grids, transportation networks, healthcare systems, all of them will rely heavily on software, which means cybersecurity may become one of the most important industries in the United States. And speaking of infrastructure, let us talk about cities. American cities in 2040 could become much smarter. Traffic lights may adjust dynamically based on real-time traffic patterns. Autonomous delivery robots might move along sidewalks bringing groceries and packages. Public transportation could become more efficient with AI-controlled scheduling. Buildings themselves could become intelligent. Smart offices might automatically adjust lighting, temperature, and energy usage depending on occupancy. Even waste management could change. Sensor-equipped trash systems may optimize collection routes to reduce fuel consumption. These changes might sound small individually, but when combined across entire cities, they could significantly improve efficiency and sustainability. But here is where the debate begins. Because not everyone is comfortable with this level of technology integration, and this brings us to privacy. As cities become smarter, they also collect more data. Sensors, cameras, connected devices, all generating information about how people move, shop, travel, and interact. Supporters argue this data helps improve services. Traffic flows better, energy systems become efficient, emergency services respond faster. But critics worry about surveillance. Who controls the data? How is it used? Can it be misused? These questions will likely shape major political and legal debates in the United States over the next decade. And this leads us into one of the biggest discussions surrounding future technology: the balance between innovation and regulation. On one side, technology companies push rapid innovation, new tools, new services, new platforms. On the other side, governments must ensure safety, privacy, and fairness. Too much regulation could slow innovation. Too little regulation could allow harmful technologies to spread unchecked. Finding that balance will be one of the defining challenges of the 2030s. Now, let us step back and look at the bigger picture. The future of America in 2040 will likely bring enormous benefits. Transportation could become safer and more efficient. Healthcare could become more personalized and preventative. Energy systems could become cleaner and more sustainable. Cities could operate more smoothly and intelligently. But there are also risks. Automation could disrupt certain jobs. Privacy concerns may increase as data collection expands. Cybersecurity threats could grow as more systems become connected. And the economic gap between highly skilled workers and others could widen if education systems do not adapt. Public opinion on these technologies will probably remain divided. Some people will embrace the changes. They will see technology as a powerful tool for improving life. Others will remain skeptical. They will worry about corporate control, surveillance, and job displacement. Both perspectives are important because the future should not be decided by technology alone. It should be shaped by society, by the choices people make about how technology is used. Now let us fast forward to 2040 for a moment. Picture a typical American morning. A smart home gently adjusts lighting as the sun rises. Your AI assistant summarizes your schedule, traffic conditions, and important news. Your autonomous ride arrives exactly when you need to leave. On the way to work, your vehicle communicates with the city's traffic network, avoiding congestion. At work, you collaborate with intelligent software tools that help analyze information and automate repetitive tasks. In the evening, you exercise while a wearable device monitors your health metrics in real time. If something unusual appears, your healthcare provider receives an alert. This future may sound advanced, but many of these technologies already exist in early forms today. By 2040, they may simply be part of normal American life. So what should people do right now to prepare for that future? For students, the most valuable skills will likely be adaptability and problem solving. Technology changes quickly. Learning how to learn may become more important than memorizing specific tools. Fields related to artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, robotics, and data science could offer strong career opportunities. But creativity, communication, and critical thinking will remain valuable too. Because machines are powerful, but human insight still matters. For working professionals, staying flexible will be essential. Industries will evolve, some roles will disappear, new ones will appear. Continuous learning may become a normal part of career growth. And for business owners, understanding technology trends early can create major advantages. Companies that adapt quickly to new tools and automation may outperform competitors. Those that resist change could struggle. And for everyday consumers, the key will be awareness. Understanding how technology affects privacy, finances, and security will become increasingly important. Because the future will not just happen around us. It will involve us, our choices, our habits, our expectations. The technologies shaping America's future are being built right now. The real question is not whether the future will change. It definitely will. The real question is how we guide that change. Because by 2040, the United States may look more connected, more automated, and more intelligent than ever before. But the most important part of that future will still be the people living in it. If you found this exploration interesting, subscribe to Tech Vibes for more deep dives into the technology shaping our world. And I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think America will look like in 2040? Smarter, safer, or more complicated than ever before? Let me know in the comments.